What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today we are talking about the Pilot Falcon and David's Tea Honeycrisp Apple. Today I'm drinking my tea out of a mug that I got when I was in Muir Woods in California. Beautiful landscape. You can go for really long hikes through the woods, and these trees are insane. They are so big. Not as big as like the redwoods forest in California as well, but these are massive. Like, you can still stand in them, you can climb inside of them. There's this one spot, put that down. There's this one spot where as you're hiking up, they've actually cut a tree like that had fallen over in half, like so that you can actually get through the trunk of the tree, and it's taller than I am. So the width of it is taller than me, and I'm just shy of 5'10". So it's insane, but beautiful. So if you get a shot to go to California, definitely check out Muir Woods. In my beautiful mug, I am drinking David's Tea Honeycrisp Apple. I'll try and get that close. It is a green tea, and as you notice, it's actually pre-bagged this week. It comes in a little pack of 12 that you can buy individually for $10, or you can buy 3 different kinds of these containers, these packs, for $25. This one in particular is exclusive to fall season, so I don't think you can get it anymore, but next fall it'll be back out. It comes out every fall, and it's really good. It actually tastes just like the name, but if you don't like sweeter teas, don't get this one because it's pretty darn sweet. I usually put sugar in all of my tea. I don't for this one. It's far too sweet. So to me it's perfect with no sugar, which is even better because then it's 0 calories. It's a little bit healthier for you. But yeah, so if you definitely don't like sweet teas, don't grab this one. It is a green tea, so you do have to alter the way that you make it just a little bit. You're going to want the water around 85 degrees Celsius, and you can steep it for about 3 minutes-ish, depending on how strong you want it. If you have the water at a full boil, so for Americans that's 212 degrees Fahrenheit, then you run into the possibilities of actually burning the tea leaves, which will make it taste a little bit more bitter. Which, I mean, I guess you could like it that way. If you don't want it so sweet, you want it a bit more bitter, then you could do that. But recommended is 85 degrees Celsius for about 3 to 4 minutes. So with this great tea today, I'm going to be talking about the Pilot Falcon. This is the resin version with the rhodium trim and a soft, fine nib. So this is the Pilot Falcon, the black resin with a rhodium trim version. It's a very light pen, which I actually like, and this is the soft fine. And it's a nice springy clip. I actually really like it. It's not too tough. Hello, you can see me again. It's got a silver top cap with finial rather, with a black resin end cap. This pen, let me flip it over there. If you rotate it, it takes exactly 2 turns to unscrew the cap, and you push to post it on the back. I don't really post any of my pens, but you definitely can. This one sits firmly and it's not going anywhere. For those of you who like heavier pens or have bigger hands, you'll definitely need to post it. For me, because I have, I guess, average to smaller size hands, it becomes ever so slightly back weighted. But I really don't post any of my pens, so for me to try is just weird. Try and rotate the nib around here. It's got a different nib than Pilot typically does, but as in Pilot fashion, we still have the proprietary cartridges and converters. This one came with a Pilot Con 50, specifically from Goulet Pen's bottom shelf, actually, is where I got this one. But I really like it. Along the trim, you have Pilot Japan with these kind of like interlocked, almost like DNA looking trim. It's very well etched, and it goes all the way around the band, which is kind of nice because it's streamlined, if I can get my words on point there. The nib is a 14 karat gold nib, soft fine. Of course, the rhodium trim, so it's going to be a rhodium nib, but it is a gold nib for sure. And you've got kind of like these little wings almost to them. The pen is a little on the small side, so here I've got it up to the Lamy Safari, the Faber-Castell Lume, Noodler's Conrad, Pilot Metropolitan, and the Pelican M600. It's a little bit small. I would say it's almost the same length as the Metro, but significantly lighter. But you can kind of see here it's a little bit tinier as far as like length goes. Grip wise, girth wise, it's pretty much the same as the Metro. Uncapped, again, a little on the small side. The Faber-Castell Lume is a little bit smaller than the Pilot Falcon, but almost every other pen is significantly longer. So that's why I was saying if you've got bigger hands and you prefer a heavier pen, you're definitely going to want to post this. Or there is a metal version of the Pilot Falcon, so that will be heavier as well, but same size-wise that you could check out. This pen, for me, is a joy to write with. I had to adjust my thought when I first got this. I thought it was going to be a heck of a flex pen. It is. It definitely flexes. You can go from a fine to probably a broad. But it's definitely not like a vintage flex pen where you're just going to get crazy line variation. But I really like this pen just for everyday writing. It is so incredibly smooth. The ink flow is gorgeous. It's very nice and wet. I've never had any issues, no hard starts, no skips, nothing like that. It's never dried out on me, whether I leave it uncapped or capped. I have terrible flex writing. I'm not very good at it, so excuse my attempt there. But yeah, you can definitely squeeze out a good chunk of line variation. I wouldn't push it too far because you could kind of spring the tines, so essentially you'd be misaligning them, and then you're going to have all kinds of problems. You can reverse write as well if you want it to be like an extra fine, and it's actually fairly smooth, but it's going to be dry when you do that. But using it regular is so, I literally, I can't say enough. I really didn't think that this pen, once I kind of like got a hold of it, was going to be my favorite just because it is so light. But I almost never have this pen like just clean and in my drawer. It's almost always inked up. This one in particular is inked up with Diamine Amazing Amethyst. It's kind of like a dusty purple, which is kind of perfect for this pen because that ink shades so nicely. It can kind of go from like a light grayish purple to like a deep purple when you really put the ink down. So I kind of like to put shading inks into this pen because of the way that you can get the line variation going. So as you can see here, I called it a semi-flex. And I did that so that you guys can kind of get the idea that it isn't a crazy flex pen. If you want one that you can just throw tons and tons and tons of pressure down onto, I would maybe look at like a Noodler's pen, the Ahab or the Conrad or the Neponset or something like that. Those ones are very stiff, so you can throw crazy pressure down on it. And if you do, manage to spring the tines or anything like that, then it's not as bad because they're pretty inexpensive pens. But this pen here is definitely more of like a soft fine with a decent amount of variation, but I would not call it like a 100% flex pen. For that, I would go with like vintage dip pens. But as you can see here, it's pretty freaking sweet. So everybody, thank you so very much for watching another one of my videos. I'm starting to get quite a collection now, so if you want to check out some of my others, I'll have links to them somewhere in these videos. I don't know which corner it's going to be, but you'll see a little eye that you can click on, and you'll be able to jump right to it. Or you can check out my actual YouTube page where I have them all in a playlist called Pen Reviews. on this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you like it a lot, hit subscribe. And as always, throw a whole bunch of comments down in that comment section. I read them all, I answer them all, and I would really, really appreciate it. So as always, I'll see you next time. Cheers. One kind of random bonus about these is if I drop it,